Yeah, the that semi-scripted one that I was doing with my friend. He's a roommate from when I was in college.
Oh, okay.
Also, longtime friend through scouting. In the end of my that season one, I was building a large hangar on a moon
Hmm.
that was very similar size to this. That was going to be able to be pressurized.
Okay.
I never finished it because of a stupid teleporter accident.
Yeah, about that.
Are you saying you had something to do with that? Were you involved in that?
Uh, well, there was a reason I was running from pirates, and when I landed on that planet, or crashed more so. Um,
Oh.
yeah, they had this weird technology they found, and I was kind of screwing with it, and I ended up teleporting several luscious green ladies, and they booted me off the ship, and then hurt the dead leaves, and told me never to come back, and
Oh.
not before I punched a whole bunch of buttons and left.
Hmm. I didn't realize how much baggage you came with.
Yes. It's a shame it couldn't came with the baggage that I'd left there. That would have been nice.
I would like some of the baggage I left on that moon. The I had this awesome thing I'd salvaged from a wreck that would the nanite
The who?
generator. It, it
Nanite.
it built things. You just laid the grid work down and it built things for you. It was awesome.
Very nice.
It helped a lot with building large structures like this.
Yeah, I'm about to say we could use that now. I know it'd be hard, but I wish they could find a way to make it where you could pressurize the stone.
Uh huh. That would be very difficult.
Oh, I'm sure.
Have you ever read anything about uh, astronauts and the things they've observed in space? Like what space smells like?
I have, but I've forgotten more than I'll ever read again.
I love the idea that space smells bad.
Yeah, it was like,
Uh,
what was it? It was like gunpowder or something, wasn't it? Or sulfur?
I don't even remember what they compared it to. They just said it's bad.
Yeah.
Well, since we're eventually looking at making this airtight and doing other things, I have our doorway into the hangar here, and then I left it set up so that we can have a doorway behind the hangar so we can do stuff back there as well.
Say hoo-ha? Ah,
See?
gotcha. Hallway.
Yep. Dead Space, is that the game?
Mm-hmm.
Almost has that sort of feel to it.
Yeah. I enjoyed Dead Space. I don't really get into a lot of survival horror games like that, or just general horror games. But the first Dead
Ooh,
Space
yeah.
had an atmosphere to it that I just couldn't step away from.
I found a bug.
What up?
I had no power, but I was welding.
Nice. Although, and I don't know how many people noticed this, but the opening of Dead Space is a direct and complete ripoff of Alien Resurrection. I am not lying. I mean frame for frame, including the song.
Rip off or homage? I mean, Rip-off is like if they acknowledge it and we're like, yeah, that's what we intended to do. I don't really consider that a rip-off because they're
Uh,
not hiding the fact.
it could be. It could be.
Because if I mean, Dead Space was a space horror, and so was Alien.
Okay, so is that the reason they went the opposite direction and made everything look like a gaping vagina instead of a dickhead?
I have no idea.
Me and a buddy binge played that in 2 nights. We actually got through it in like 2 nights, and we made that observation because we're both a fan of Alien,
Yeah,
and yeah, we're like, wow, hey, I got the bigger they are. What is
must
that
have
one?
placed in. That's I think you make place a certain number of blocks.
Nice.
I'm kind of surprised you've gotten it and I haven't, but at least I don't think I have. There's also one for like playing 150 hours of Space Engineers.
I should have gotten that not a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only based on once the achievements have arrived
Yeah.
or had arrived. That battle cruiser that I did, some people left comments on it like, "Hey, I think this would be a great one if you finished it. I think people would download it a lot." And I was
Cool.
like, "Okay,
It's got a good shape to it.
yeah, I do like it. It's a fun looking ship, and it looks like I can't build a true battleship the way I want to in Space Engineers. The game just won't let me handle it.
Pack of decoy flares. Where did that come from?
Oh, that God, what is that mod?
Anaconda rocket? Did we recently? We did change the mods up a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah,
That sounds fun to me. I like decoys. Alright, what did I come over here to do? Middle grades. Off you go. Make me some.
okay.
I need to bring nickel and cobalt over here.
We have a lot of light armor blocks on the floor.
Oops. That wasn't me.
Heavy armor, heavy.
And at that 30-minute mark, it is now midnight.
All right. Let's go ahead clean up
Yeah, I'm gonna go
the iron
into my.
and then replace the light armors with heavy.
Okay. And the rain has arrived as well as some of the thunder. I may have to let my windows down if it gets too much louder.
I can hear it when you're talking, but it's not enough to activate your the Discord mic. So
Yeah, but it's gonna be on my recording.
ah, well, that's your problem.
Yes, well. The last time I tried to clean up the audio with that in the background, it distorted my voice like crazy.
Fun.
Yeah. As cool as it is, and as much as I'm gonna hate it, when it's gotta go. So that's loud.
I forgot you'd left to do things.
Yep.
Have you transferred all the grids that we have in now?
I've already used them all. I'm making some now.
Okay. I didn't know if we were completely out now or because I will start welding stuff up with plates as far as I can.
Well, all but the last couple of grids have been placed, so you're good to go.
Yay! Well, while I'm doing this, do you want to start working on the scout ship for looking for resources?
And I'm gonna queue up a finite number of grids so we can have some in reserve.
Now, if we see a shuttle come through that is a Type C shuttle,
Mhm.
those are really nice shuttles and would be a good shuttle to use as a longer range scout.
Okay.
I mean, not longer range than like what you're building, but not jump drive.
Right.
They have a med bay on them,
Very nice.
and I've been able to convert them to use make sure they have oxygen on board. So they're really nice shuttles, and they're big enough for probably 3 or 4 people to wander around inside.
Very cool.
And they're only protected by 2 little guns, interior turrets. And they're a lot easier to capture than what the mining ship that we captured.
Easier to hide behind stuff on it.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I lost drills. Ooh. And the back door, this wasn't closed. We both need to learn some airlock etiquette unless we timerize it. I mean, I'm as guilty as everybody else.
Oh, I know. We'll learn it. Unless you want to toss a timer on here.
Oh, we can. By the time I use like 1200, it's made almost 900. So.
Okay. If we're better positioned, we could probably put some more production modules on it. What did I come over here for? Oh, yeah, batteries.
Well, I mean, that was just slap stuff down so we can get a start.
Yeah.
I figure that entire thing is going to be reworked at some point, which is going to be a mess, considering all the well, it's just a generator; it doesn't store anything. So yeah, that's good. God, that is beautiful, though. If you look out the like get on top of our slapdash assembly and look out the other hole of the cave.
Nice.
The planet over there, that is pretty cool looking.
Screenshot.
It's like playing with Epic Tech.
It just popped in. That's a 5H cruiser.
Oh, yeah, we have no chance in getting that.
That's that biggest one you had, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one that I put on either side.
Uh-huh.
That's the super candy. And it took me like 3 or 4 attempts to figure out the best way to tackle that one. Because if you're not careful, the entire thing just detonates because it has sensors tied to warheads.
Lovely.
And hopefully we still have an excess of large steel tubes, not large steel tubes, thruster components from...
Got a couple hundred.
Couple hundred?
Yeah, I'm about to go get me a radio component and I'll let you know how many we got.
Well, I'm on my way over to grab some too, so...
Okay.
Production.
How about almost 3,000?
Much better.
And that's a detector. Where are the radio? Right there. Nope.
I was going to be, okay, our next requirement is platinum.
Yeah.
We must go find platinum. Because a small ion thruster for large ships uses 80. The problem with mining ships, really, is they are way too maneuverable and have a huge amount of thrust when they're empty. But when you have to be careful because they get almost uncontrollable because of how much extra thrust you need for dealing with uh, all the extra ore and stuff on them.
Right.
And this thing really shouldn't, while empty, really doesn't need any more than one gyroscope. But if it gets full, it needs more than one. But before we go too far with a too valuable ship like the mining, granted we really didn't do much on it, but still it's a fair right now it's valuable for us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to go too far out because I don't want to get in a position where we have like drones trying to attack it. Because there's no way it's going to deal with drones.
No, certainly not.
Uh, if I do a good mining run in this uranium, we should have more uranium than we'll ever need.
Well, that certainly won't hurt my feelings. Alright, large steel tubes and thruster components.
I did this in the with the Wanderer, and it's the mining ship that I built for it, which had a head on it roughly the same size as this one.
Right.
And by the time I crashed the Wanderer, it still had just barely gotten through all the uranium processing. And it was like 4 or 5 hours of uranium processing.
Oh, wow.
We might also want to look at that gravel sifter. Putting one of those up.
We did keep that in here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Yep, gravel stuff to right there.
Because I'm going to get a lot of extra gravel or stone with the uranium.
Let's shunt that right there. That needs to
That definitely lowers the oh my god, we need stuff now factor, but it's so much more efficient to know where the actual resource is.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and it didn't crash the game. Gravel is set up. Now,
Thank you.
does it pull randomly, or does it work like production? No,
I'm not sure.
must be. Okay, still says assembler. All right. Okay. So it looks like it may be random because if you go into production, only the assembler is there, and in the inventory, it's set up like an assembler. So I guess it just kind of does it randomly.
Okay. Or maybe maybe it just processes, and you get a certain small amount of each one as it processes.
Maybe. Do we want the opening this big, or do we want to cut it back a little bit?
Like width wise,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it being big.
Well, I don't mind them being big either, but I'm asking is do we need it? Because these airtight hangar doors are a little pricey.
Um,
That's the,
well, the bigger it is, the easier we can put more ships in.
okay.
That's just, I mean, we can probably go smaller and just have to be a lot more careful putting ships in.
Careful, he says.
Well, I gave my opinion on what the two options are.
Right.
You make the engineering decision once you're informed.
Oh, I've already made that decision.
More doors?
Yep. More doors.
More door. I wish there was a, you know how there's the for the heavy metals, or just the metals in general, the arc furnace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a specialized uranium processing uh, item.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Or much like you said before, have it where you can really fine tune what each refinery does.
Yep.
What else? Oh yeah, I was going to see if I was actually timing, which I don't think I am.